Hi, my name is Russell Pearson, and this is a short video about creating consistent leads. And it's about the three things that just about every single business needs to actually get a full pipeline of opportunities and create that consistently. Now, this is part of my Plus 60K program, which is something we've just launched, which is very, very cool, that helps people get more clarity in the next steps for their business so that they know where they're growing, they know the type of people that they're after. It helps people get consistency in their pipeline and leads, as is along the line of what we're going to be talking about today, but it also helps them close more business so they can get that additional 60K in the bank at the end of the day. So the question is, could you use another $60,000 in your business? If you could, then maybe it's worth having a chat with me. But that's not what today is about. Today is about the three things that are going to get you consistent leads in your business. Now, number one is knowing where your customers are. You've got a sense of your ideal client. If you don't, then you really need to do that work first. But if you know who your ideal client is, you really need to know where they are, because if you can find where they are, it means you can communicate to them in that place. And being able to communicate with your ideal prospect is half the battle. If you know where they are, if you know who they are, then you're going to craft a message that's going to be very attractive to them. And more than half of those people are going to go, yes, please, I'll take that. And you can move them into your process, whatever that is in your business. So if you know where they are, you can have that conversation. You can start that conversation with them. You can put advertising out there. You can be putting social posts. It could be offline. They could be in groups. Where are they? Make a list of these things and actually say, can I communicate to them in these spaces? So number one is crucial. You need to know where your ideal prospects are. Number two is actually more of an analytical piece, which is about knowing the numbers. So ideally, you've got a place where you can identify your leads and you're taking them through a process to turn them into prospects. Now, a lead really is someone who could use what you've got. Ideally, all indicators point towards they could. And a prospect is, no, we know that they should. That's because we've identified that, yes, they have a problem. Yes, they can use the type of service we've got, and they can ideally afford it. They can. Now is the time for them, right? So you're taking a person from lead to prospect, and there might be a series of steps to get them to do that. And most businesses have a number of steps. If you don't know what the numbers are that you need in each of those steps, then you are literally flying blind. You can't say, all right, here's my sales and marketing process. What's wrong with it? Where's it broken? So if someone gives me the numbers in their business, they show me the pipeline, they give me the numbers, I can actually look at that and say, it's broken there. If we make this sort of small tweak, we can fix it. You need to know that in your business. So you need to know how many people do you want as an opportunity, because every business is going to be different. You might need to have 10 sales calls a month. It could be 20. It depends very much on how much work do you want. Then how many people do I need to bring in the top of the funnel to make that a reality? So what's the conversion rates along the way? Now, if you don't know what that is, then you need to really come up with a sales process, know your steps, and then keep a track of the numbers that are moving through there. There's a lot of people that have actually got a problem where they want X amount of new business, X amount of opportunities. And then I ask them what's their conversion rate. They can't tell me that. I then ask them how many people are they bringing into their pipeline. They can't tell me that. So unless you've got those details, you can't fix the details. So setting up the pipeline might be something that you'll need to do if you don't have it in place. So number two is know your numbers. Number three is how are you going to move someone from a lead to a prospect? And really the big key around that is knowing what makes them a prospect. What are the indicators that say this is a person who can afford what I've got? This is a person who can use what I've got, and this is really going to help them. Most people have like a persona, like it's a set of demographics really that describe a certain audience. That's pretty much where you can identify some leads. But at that point, you need to go, right, do they have a problem that I can solve? Can they use that problem? Can they afford that problem to be solved by me? Right? So what are the indicators that actually turn them from a lead into a prospect? You should have a list of things that they might need. So an example was back in the advertising days, we used to do a lot of advertising. We would be able to look at Yellow Pages as a bit of a competitor and say, who is advertising with Yellow Pages more than the standard? They might be doing the premium package or something like that. We could tell which was the premium package. And so we would be able to look at that and say, that company is one we should be speaking to because ideally they have a budget for advertising. they're doing it on a regular basis, which means that if we can show them a better value proposition, they might want to spend that advertising dollar with us. So that's an example of an indicator that told us that this is potentially someone that we should be talking to. So that's what that's about. How do you know when is the right time to speak to a lead? It's when they become a prospect. And what are the indicators that say that they've become a prospect? So they're the three things you need to have a full pipeline. It's number one, where are people? Where can you attract large amounts of individuals into the pipe, the top of the funnel, to actually build your audience? What are the steps from there to get to prospect? And do you know the numbers so you can fix any of those parts as you're on the run? And number three, that's a fist. Number three is, how do you know when they become a prospect? What is the list of items that they need to tick off? Boom, 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 boom. This is now a prospect. This is someone I should be reaching out to. This is someone I should be speaking with. If you have that, you're going to have a full book of opportunities. You're going to have a full pipeline of opportunities and all sorts of leads turning into consistent prospects. So my name is Russell Pearson. Just a short video to help you understand those pieces of the pie. And it is, as I said, part of the 60K program, where we're adding an additional 60K for people, whether they're starting out and they're getting from 60,000 and they want to get to 120, or whether they've been running their business for a while, maybe they're at 180 and they want to get to 240 and take it a little bit more seriously. So how can you add an extra $60,000 to your bottom line? Now, many of you have already known me for some time, and so maybe this is the opportunity to say, you know what, Russell, this is the time to ask for help, because this is what I do. I help people get from where they are to where they want to be. If they don't have consistent leads, we get them to consistent leads. If they don't have a good sales process, we get them to that. And if they're a little bit stuck, if they're a little confused as to what is the next step, we bridge that gap. We actually give them clarity and direction. So if that sounds anything like you, then maybe you want to reach out and say, Russell, let's have a chat. Let's see if what you've got could even help me, because that's the reality. I'm not sure if we can help your business, but it's worth having a very short 5-10 minute conversation to see if it makes sense. Till next time, stay passionate, and I'll catch you on the next one.